It was a beautiful day to enjoy the varied flora and fauna of Florida, and one middle-aged local couple had driven into the wilderness to do just that. As they parked their vehicle and prepared to step out, however, they noticed that something wasn't quite right. The grass next to their parking spot was moving in a most peculiar way. Then, all of a sudden, they saw what was causing the movement and realized, horrifyingly, that they had narrowly avoided a grisly fate. The nature-loving couple in question were Kathy and Lloyd Terry, residents of Bartow, the seat of Polk County in Florida. And in July 2017, the pair had a hair-raising encounter they will likely remember for the rest of their lives. It all came about as a result of what they had presumed to be a sedate birdwatching trip into the south of the county. And you only need to glance at Kathy Terry's Facebook page to learn of her fond enthusiasm for critters of all kinds. She also has a keen eye for photography, and she and her husband often head out into nature armed with professional camera equipment to combine her two interests. These pursuits led Kathy and Lloyd on an ornithological expedition that summer's day, one which saw them visit an area just to the south of their hometown. On spotting a potential photo opportunity, the pair stopped their Toyota Tundra with the intention of alighting from the truck to snap some pictures. However, before they had the chance to exit the vehicle, the Terrys were frozen to the spot in fear. Kathy later explained what happened in a July 2017 interview with Fox 13 News. "I looked down and the grass was moving," she described, when it shouldn't have been moving. But the couple were astounded when they saw what was responsible for that movement. Indeed, they could hardly miss the massive and menacing presence that had pressed its way through the undergrowth and was now disturbing the grass at the roadside. Lloyd Terry told the TV reporters that he saw a big thing going across the road, a big thing. He went on to describe the outsized creature as fat. "I can't even repeat what I saw," Kathy recalled of her initial shocked reaction, but it was, oh wow, oh gosh, look at the size of that thing. It was a super-sized snake that had chosen to cross their path. And while the couple may have been open-mouthed at its appearance, they still had the wit and wherewithal to capture the scaly spectacle on film. In fact, Kathy hurried to get her camera equipment so the Terrys could get some photographic evidence of their encounter with this unbelievably big serpent. The remarkable reptile may not have technically been a monster, but it certainly qualified as one in size. Experts viewing the shots Kathy took that day later identified the giant as an eastern diamondback rattlesnake. This species of venomous pit viper is native to the southeastern states of the U.S. and derives its name from the diamond pattern running down its length. But was the massive specimen the terrified Terrys witnessed unusual? According to Lisa Risigliano, who owns Eleanor Wildlife Services of Lakeland, Florida, the snake was a rare find indeed. "I would say it's probably at least 6 foot," she told the Fox 13 news cameras, "probably easily pushing 100 pounds. That's a big snake, but such a length isn't unheard of among eastern diamondbacks, the largest variety of rattler. At least it is not uncommon for the female of the serpent species. The average size for male eastern diamondbacks is 5.5 feet. Females, by contrast, can grow to 6 feet or more. However, the rattlers may stretch even further. After one example was reportedly killed in 1946, records show that it measured a whopping 7.8 feet in length. And while the Terry snake was an awesome size, it's not just the length of the reptile that was impressive. As the heaviest of native venomous snakes, eastern diamondbacks on the larger end of the scale tend to weigh about 15 pounds or more. That really puts the estimated 100-pound rattler that spooked the Terrys in perspective. After Kathy uploaded the pictures of the serpent to Facebook, moreover, the viper soon shot to viral fame, and the reactions of the online community were varied. Some commenters just expressed awe at the eastern diamondback's size, for example. However, some seemed to let their instinctual fear get the better of them. Probably a fourth of them said, "You should have run it over," Kathy told Fox 13 News. Others said, "Why didn't you kill it? Boy, that would make a great pair of boots and probably a belt, too." Thankfully, the couple let the snake slither off into the grassland weeds instead. Wanting to kill such a creature is a cruel and sad reaction, but it stems from a deep-seated terror or repulsion. Such a response is provoked by a fear of snakes, known as ophidiophobia. It's a very common phenomenon, with about 1 person in every 3 affected by it to some extent. Some behavioral scientists believe that such fears can be traced back to raw survival instincts learned by our ancestors way back when. Whatever the reason for them, though, it is true that many wild animals can be dangerous when they're not treated with caution and respect. And the same goes for snakes, rattlesnakes in particular. So, some would argue that ophidiophobia is a very rational fear. After all, rattlesnakes, and diamondbacks specifically, are the most venomous reptiles in North America. Nevertheless, most snakes only strike humans when they feel threatened, and the good news is that rattlesnakes have a way of telling you when you're standing too close for comfort. That's because they use the rattle on the end of their tails to make a signature warning noise, although they have also been known to strike without rattling. Still, eastern diamondbacks are not aggressive by nature and will only attack as a last resort. They would much prefer to be left alone. However, things could have ended up very differently that summer's day if the Terrys had been a little less cautious and not looked before they leaped from their truck. The snake could easily have struck if they had stepped on it, and it would have been out of self-defense, reptile expert Rosigliano informed Fox 13 News. Indeed, a bite from an eastern diamondback of that size would have been potentially fatal. The TV news reporter also asked Kathy if the close call had put her off enjoying nature. "No, not at all, but it is going to stop me from getting out of the truck as quickly," she answered. And those are wise words if you live in an area populated with venomous snakes. At the very least, you should watch where you walk. The creatures will fang you for it.